Well, good morning. It's just after 5 a.m. Tuesday morning here. It's kind of dark and cloudy out this morning. Thinking it's going to stay that way for a few days here. Just got the weekend's eggs, 48 eggs we laid over the weekend. There's a couple more in the house. Just gotta get chores done before we head off to work. Here, chickens, rise and shine. Come get some snacks. Morning, Scout. How are you guys this morning? Didn't finish all your salad, I see. Guess we won't give them any more this morning. We'll give them a little bit tonight. Oh, I got a bucket of grain for the sheep. It's I'm gonna cut these guys down to 1 bucket a day. I usually get one in the morning, one in the evening, but in the evenings now, yesterday I started just letting them out to pasture for a couple hours, so they're getting lots of nutrition from the fresh grass here. Still no lambs out of Juliette here either. I don't know if she's having us on or what. She's fat, she's bagged up. She's about 8 weeks later than everybody else, so either she got bred the day the ram came out, or I don't know what's going on. Yeah, if she doesn't hurry up, I'm gonna start asking questions, because the math's almost starting to not work out here. One thing I should have done, and I didn't, you'd think I'd know by now, but I wrote in the book when I put the ram in the pen, but I didn't put in the book when I pulled the ram out of the pen. So last possible date, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Well, I'm sitting here in Dawson Creek. I had to go through Dawson to get to work this morning, so I figured I'd stop at the vet office. I'm gonna pick up some Ivamec and some vaccines for the girls there, but seem to have forgotten that they're on a different time zone here in Dawson, so I got 12 more minutes to wait till they're open, so that's okay. Well, that did not go as planned. We haven't been to the Dawson Creek vet for any of the sheep or horses or any of our large animals, only for the dogs. So they run their vet clinic as two separate sides. So not getting anything out of them today. Did get a whole bunch of paperwork to fill out, so love filling out paperwork. So I'm sure the question's going to come up. I mean, we were at the vet's office earlier today looking for, Ivamec or dewormers. We're looking for vaccines for the sheep, and so the question's going to come: Are we not treating through, natural remedies and things like that? So, big believer in natural therapy, natural prevention measures. But a sick animal is a sick animal, and when it comes to that, we have to treat them as a sick animal. We have to give them the medication they need, because honestly, a sick animal that's left untreated, I know there's a lot of different remedies out there that are, theoretically work, but given our environment and our experience, it's pretty much a guarantee that a sick animal left untreated is going to be a dead animal untreated, and that makes for a pretty sad day at the farm. Well, we got everybody turned out together. One big happy family over here. We got horses and ponies and sheep and donkeys and lambs. Hi, Elsie. How are you? Hi, Lily. Do you want some ear scratches? Yeah, you want some ear scratches. You'll see the garden basking in the sun, getting a lot of that warmth into the soil. Tomorrow and the next day, I think we're in for about 1.5 inches of rain, 2 inches of rain over a couple of days. So a little warm weather, a little moisture. You know what that means? It means the green stuff's going to start popping out soon. So yesterday we panned through Carrot Row and we came across the grave of the unknown vegetables here. If memory serves me right, I believe there are 2 rows of onions here. So can't wait for these things to pop up and we can find out exactly what it is for sure. Look at this behind me. We're in for one hell of a thunderstorm by the looks of things tonight. First one of the year, that's exciting. I actually I haven't even watered the mouse miracle garden here. The intent is to try and let this do what nature's going to do for it. So this aggressive weather pattern that's on the move here coming in, going to welcome those couple inches of rain and get those potatoes all watered up and get them growing. Well, looks like I might actually have to water the potatoes after all. We just got a sprinkle. It was yeah, just enough to wet the sidewalk. So that definitely won't get those potatoes growing. So don't have enough garden hose strung out there. I'm probably just gonna pack a couple pails just for today, and then fingers crossed, well, not fingers crossed, I know it's gonna happen. We're gonna get flooded tomorrow. So, but just wanna get a little water on tonight, just to give them that little bit of a start. I do wanna kinda do this as naturally as possible, but at the same time, don't want it to leave to just rot in the soil either. So you probably remember from a couple of our other earlier videos how we're using the chickens to turn this compost. So this compost came out of the where the bulls are bedded there from last year and rotted down over the last winter, and then we've put it out here for these guys to work through. But there's a few spots where it's, as you can tell, it's gotten a little bit tough, and that breakdown process is, you know, it's kind of stalled out. Chickens aren't able to do much for it. We've tried to what's the word I'm looking for? Encourage them, I guess. Provide motivation for them to work through it by just adding a layer of feed on top of this stuff. But I think it is pretty tough and compacted. So I'm gonna come in here with a fork later on and just kind of rotate the pile a little bit, just add a little bit of aeration to it in a few spots and see if I can't get that aerobic process working again so that the chickens can work in unison with the natural processes that happen inside a compost pile. So for instance, you can see right where Tony's standing here, there's kind of a sheared off wall where the chickens were able to dig and scratch through that, but then they've hit this hard spot. So it won't be too hard, really just remove that crusty layer and then there'll be a soft layer underneath. So we'll just roll that over, and the chickens, I'm sure, once that's done, they'll just go to work, right? It'll just be like second helping at an all-you-can-eat buffet pretty much. So that took literally like 2 minutes maybe to just flip all this over. You're just taking off the top layer and then taking one forkful out from underneath of it to remove that soft material. And if there's any compaction there, you're just loosening it up, flipping it over, and then moving on. And so you can see where this stuff is now. This is nice and moist, rich, soft. The chickens will be able to dig through this in no time, and you'll be able to continue processing this down further. And so once this is done, this will, I mean, right now it's just kind of filling a hole in the yard, but it's also going to be a source for us to come for garden compost, right? So it's kind of serving two purposes, working with, well, three purposes. It's filling a hole, we're creating garden compost, we're also reducing soil erosion coming off the top of the shop as this water comes through this channel. And so we're trying to manipulate the natural processes on the side of this hill by slowing that water down. It also comes through this compost pile and releases a lot of nutrients. And so if you look over, where does this go? Tough to see, but there's about a couple hundred trees over here that we planted in the last couple of years. So those nutrients are flushing down into those trees. What I'm gonna do now is just get about a half a scoop of grain, sprinkle along that compost pile. I don't want to feed them per se, I just want to give them a little snack, right? Just let them know there's something there for them. You can see they're all running up here. They're keen, they're eager. I want to use that zeal to our advantage. Just give a light little dusting all throughout here. Encourage them to work throughout the whole pile. You see these girls are pretty enthusiastic about it. Well, once again, the girls are feeling motivated. I hope you are too. I also hope you have a fantastic evening. Don't forget to subscribe down below. We will see you tomorrow.